Welcome to the DZ Report. Don't you know I love haters? Now, Corey Dillon unleashes, he's been out of sight for a while, unleashes a rant to some people. Um, he uncorked the rant while talking to Paul Denner Jr. of theathletic.com. So the full interview is not here. These are bits and pieces, but make sure you go check it out. Make no mistake about whether Dillon was actually off the record, as he said to Denner. Man, you can quote me word for effing word, print it. Because nobody gets this I want it exactly how I told you, no spins, no nothing. Dillon has two primary complaints and a third one that is looming. First, he thinks he should be in the Bengals Ring of Honor, a distinction that is voted on by season ticket holders. It's damn near criminal what voters are pulling off, to be honest with you. Dillon said, did I not play for them? I don't know, bro. I'm curious about that because it looks like they are glossing over me. For what reason? Because I left? That's not good enough. You are telling me there's five other guys better than me at my position. And trust me, this is no knock on whoever is getting in, who goes in. That's not what it is about. It's about what is your excuse going to be. I'm pretty sure they will put effing John Kitna in there before they put me. Matter of fact, Scott Mitchell will end up in that mother effer before I do. The problem is Dillon explains with such eloquence, the team's decision to let the fans decide. And that's garbage, he said. Sorry about that. This should be solely predicted on the authorities of the Bengals. The owner, the president, whatever. There should be a special committee. This ain't a popularity contest. This is football. You're going to put in somebody who is more popular than somebody who got stats. Dillon has the stats. He started his career by rushing for more than 1,100 yards in 6 straight seasons. He rushed for 8,061 yards in 7 seasons with the Bengals. He also has 11,241 for his career, more than, for example, Hall of Famers O.J. Simpson, Earl Campbell, and Larry Zonka. Dillon, therefore, wants consideration for Canton. I want it all, Dillon told Denner. I am coming for it all. You know why? Because I earned it. I'm not one of these borderline guys sitting on my ass reminiscing, talking about, oh, if I had this, shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, I'm justified. Dillon thinks off-field incidents have affected him. He had 2 arrests in 2010, 4 years after his career ended. One was for DUI and one was for spousal abuse. The DUI was reduced to reckless driving, and the assault charge was dropped due to a lack of evidence. In 2000, he was charged with 4th-degree assault of his wife, entering a diversion program, and making a donation to a women's shelter. He believes those things should not impact his candidacy for career honors if they are. That's why I resurfaced, man, Dillon said, because there has been a lot of wrong that needs to be unwronged. Nobody gets this. I don't want to get into people's personal business, but there are a lot of Hall of Famers that did far more worse shit than I did. We could cancel out that excuse. There's no excuse for that. On top of that, I thought the game was predicated on numbers. Are people looking at the numbers like, nah, I don't think so? Dillon thinks Bengal fans are still upset with him because he was outspoken during his career. He once said he'd rather be flipping burgers than to accept the team's restricted free agency tender. And 2, he left Cincinnati and won a championship. That he did in 2004 with a career-high 1,635 rushing yards for a dominant Patriots team. It's still the franchise single-season record, and that has Dillon thinking he should have spot in the Patriots Hall of Fame too. Don't make this a Cincinnati thing because I'm about to get on the Pat's ass too. He told Denner, it's coming. I'm coming for it all. Give it to me while I'm breathing. If anybody wants to disagree, just go look at the effing numbers and have a Coke and a smile. Dillon's name rarely comes up reference to his career accomplishments when it comes to the great tailbacks of the 21st century. He's typically forgotten when names like AP, LaDainian Tomlinson, Sean Alexander, Frank Gore, LaShawn McCoy, Steven Jackson, Clinton Portis, Chris Johnson, Matt Forte, Priest Holmes, Jamal Lewis, and Marshawn Lynch are mentioned. The truth is that Dillon has more rushing yards than all before those running backs. Okay, now that's what he said, and so let's see. Okay, so he clarified his Ring of Honor comments and hopes to meet with Bengals owner Mike Brown. He clarified his comments. It was, I think, last Sunday night during an appearance on Bengal Jim and Friends. I want the fans to know, like, when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking about the fans in Cincinnati or the city of Cincinnati. Dillon said I'm just stating stuff that I want fixed. It's all business. It's not nothing personal. I don't really have no animosity against Mike Brown or the Bengals. Nothing like that. My whole thing is I want them to do right by their former players. That's my whole objective, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed in my book. Hopefully sometime in the future, me and Mike Brown can have that conversation. With me, it's a front office thing. It has nothing to do with players. The current state of the Bengals right now, none of my teammates, is basically something that needs to be ironed and fixed out between the front office and myself. And I hope that gets done sometime in the near future. So he basically clarified it. That means somebody must have came and talked to him and said, yo, like, you got to chill out or something. Now the Bengals, this was after all of that, will hold a ring honor induction ceremony on Monday Night Football. So the Bengals, they unveiled the latest entries in the team's ring of honor during a week 3 Monday night football showdown with the Rams. Cincinnati announced the news, and this was a ceremony September 25th affair. Now, here it goes. Jim Breach, James Brooks, Chris Collinsworth, Corey Dillon, Boomer Esiason, David Fulcher, Chad Johnson, Tim Crumry, Dave Lapham, Max Montoya, Lamar Parrish, Bob Trumpy, and Reggie Williams. Okay, so this was old. This was back July 11th. So this was on July 11th, and they announced this. This is going to happen during Week 3 Monday Night Football. So this was after the whole rant by Corey Dillon. Now, am I upset that Corey Dillon said what he had to say? Absolutely not. Corey Dillon is one of the greatest running backs we've ever seen. He just gets forgotten a lot because he played on a sorry-ass Bengals team. And to me, for your ring of honor to have to be chosen by the fans is downright stupid. Because a lot of these fans today don't know shit about Dillon. They only know Chris Collinsworth because he's an analyst on TV announcing the games, telling you to play by play. But people forget Chris Collinsworth was a hell of a receiver. You know, he was a good receiver, especially in Bengals history. Out of him and Chad Johnson, he was better than Chad Johnson. People will get mad when I say that, but he was. He was better than Chad Johnson. Chris Collinsworth was a dog out there. Him and Boomer. Boomer was a good quarterback too. Even though I don't like him as a anchor or analyst or a personality, whatever you call what he is today, because to me, I just think he's too cynical. And I just think he's a bitter-ass old guy because he couldn't win a ring. So he gets upset with everybody. Now, Corey Dillon, was he exactly correct what he said? Corey Dillon has to understand everything is politics. If you beat on your spouse or was said to beat on your spouse, that's going to haunt you. You'll never be accepted or looked at as anybody. But was Corey Dillon, should he be a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. Corey Dillon was probably the best running back during that time outside of AP and LaDainian Tomlinson. He was better than everybody else. He was better than Jamal Lewis. He was better than everybody else. The only reason Jamal Lewis would get more credit than him is because he played on a terrible offense. But Corey Dillon played on the Bengals team that really didn't have a defense like Jamal Lewis had. Marshawn Lynch is a great running back, but I think Corey Dillon was better than him. We tend to forget Corey Dillon because of all these flashes in the pan. I love Matt Forte. He wasn't better. Chris Johnson was faster and quicker, but as far as all around back, he wasn't better than Corey Dillon. Corey Dillon carried an offense that was damn near had no passing game, no nothing. And for his rant, for him to say what he said, I mean, I commend him. And the Bengals are trying to honor more of their players because they're trying to keep guys like Jamar Chase. But first and foremost, they want to keep Joe Burrow. They haven't had a quarterback that great since Boomer Esiason. Carson Palmer, he was good. You could say borderline great, but he got hurt too soon. I think Burrow was a little better than he was. I think he was slightly better. I think Boomer Esiason was better than both of them when it came to accuracy and his passes. But I don't know. Burrow, when he's all said and done, he could probably be the greatest quarterback in Bengals history, potentially Hall of Famer. So, I don't blame Corey Dillon for what he said. A lot of these guys really forget who laid the groundwork. If it wasn't for Corey Dillon, nobody really gave a damn about the Cincinnati Bengals during that time because they were a terrible franchise. But Chad Johnson, to be honored, it's kind of early. But, Chad was good for his first 6 seasons. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he should be in the Bengals Ring of Honor. I'll give him that. Now, I'll give him that. So now here's the thing. When he clarified his comments, I believe somebody called him and said, yo, you tripping right now. I understand you're upset. It is what it is, but I believe that, you need to chill. And I agree. He needs to chill. He really needs to chill. You can't attack the fans. Even though the fans are idiots, you can't attack them because they pay to watch you. They pay for your merchandising. But I agree with him if he attacks the organization, but I wouldn't diss the fans. I thought he went way overboard when he started talking about the fans because listen, the fans they don't know no better. They're only gonna do what they're told or what they watch. They're only gonna go with the hotness. The average fan. Now the diehard fans, they would remember you. But that off the field incident when you're black, Corey, you got to understand that shit follows you. It doesn't matter what you do, what you try. But for instance, a guy like Chad Wheeler, they'll tell you, oh, well, nobody knows who he is because he white. They always get a pass, right? I bet you if it was Joe Burrow instead of Chad Wheeler, I bet you it'll be forgotten. People think, oh, well, nah, that ain't true. Well, I think it would be. I think it would be. I just think, man, it's sad what we've come to, but I disagree with Corey Dillon on attacking the fans, but I do agree with him in attacking management and the owners because they are full of shit, and I agree. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Straight up. So, so Thank you guys, man, for listening. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you guys do love what you hear, you can donate to the page by going to the description box, hitting that link to my Cash App to donate whatever your heart's desire. If you guys have Zelle, you guys can type that number in on Zelle and donate to my page. So thank you guys for your love and blessings. We're going to be on the DZ Report this week. Next week, we'll be back on Welcome to HD TV. They gave me a strike because I used some content. I guess that's a third-party content, so they gave me a strike and took my video down. When I get back, we will do that James Gunn thing again about the cast, and we will talk about it again and talk about some other things. So thank you guys for your love and blessings. We are out, and this is the DZ Report signing off. Peace.